All right, good morning, third hour, and good afternoon, sixth hour. I tried to prep you guys a little bit yesterday in regards to what you could expect over the next couple of days, but because we've had so many half days and snow days, things have kind of happened to your classes at a more fast-paced process. And with me not being in for the next couple of days, I wanted to make sure that I set you guys up with some video here, kind of explaining links that you guys need to be paying attention to, and where you need to be going with your very first group-based video. As you can see right now, I have Edmodo opened up on my screen, but there aren't any links here yet because I haven't made those links available. But if you're watching this today, Wednesday, or accessing it later on, Thursday or Friday, the links will be here, and I'm going to walk you guys through some of those links and explain to you guys exactly what it is you guys need to be aware of. Now, I think probably the first thing that needs to be discussed here is since this is your first group video, what are you shooting a video on? And I wanted to give you guys an opportunity here to pick something that was important, but also something that was informative and something that connected not just to you personally, but to the school and the environment and to sort of the outlook that we're running into right now. And I think probably a really good place to start is in-school safety in the classroom. So as you can see here, I've got a slide up kind of proposing the question, hey, look, do you feel safe at school? Now, these three little talking points, these three little talking points below here are questions that you can use as maybe points to make your video, or maybe this is just a starting place for you guys to think about where you want your video to go. Either way, I put those there to kind of jumpstart the process of what it is you're going to need to go and look to shoot and what it is type of direction you want to take this video in over the next couple of days. Now, this presentation is going to be made available to you on PowerPoint. I'm sorry, on Edmodo. This PowerPoint is, but I think what's important is make sure that we go through all four of these requirements so that you guys can maximize as much credit, as many points as possible here. All right. Some of it's fairly straightforward, as you can see. Like for example, requirement number one: groups may be no bigger or smaller than 3 people. So this goes out to all the people that are going to ask the question, can my group have 2 people? Can my group have 4 people? There's an awkward number. The final answer is groups must be 3 and only 3. Now obviously if we've got a classroom where there's an odd number, then we're going to have to make some adjustments here. But as you can see directly below this, there is a reason why we're sitting there at 3. There are 3 responsibilities that those group members are going to be responsible for. One person in the group is going to be the on-air talent, or in other words, the host. Another person is going to be responsible for working the cameraman or woman. And then the last person in the group is going to be responsible for producing the content, taking all the video and all the writing or all the speaking parts and putting it together so that it fits into sort of a package, a minute-and-a-half package that can be viewed. That's why there should be no more or less than 3 people in your group. Now, these group members are going to be selected by you. Right? They're not already selected. Don't get this confused. This isn't your weekly assignment. This is just your first group project. So I'm going to warn you, choose your group members carefully. Choose group members that you know you can rely on. Choose group members that you know are good at certain things. And choose group members that you know that are going to fulfill their responsibility. All right? It's very important here. Now, what are you shooting? There is a link, and I'm going to kind of mouse over this word right here, editorial, because this is the style of video that you guys are going to shoot. There is a link available directly below all of these links that goes to a types of news stories webpage that kind of explains the type of news stories that are out there. And here, very briefly, you can see sort of the write-up for an editorial-based news story. In other words, an editorial is simply your opinion. Now, don't get this twisted. There's a right way to deliver your opinion. and a wrong way to deliver your opinion. And I want to make sure that you guys are comfortable understanding the correct way to deliver your opinion and not the incorrect way. That's why if I go back to the presentation here and maybe make this a little bit bigger, I'm going to zoom in on a word that I think is very, very important. Properly. Properly. What does it mean to properly deliver your opinion on a specific topic or news matter? Well, there's a slide directly after that that explains it. Moving through the rest of the requirements, number 3, you need to incorporate at least one interview, and that interview with somebody has to be outside of your group. Matter of fact, it should also be outside of this classroom, but it can't feature anybody in your group. You're going to have to go out and start getting comfortable with asking people questions and whether or not you can videotape them. And you also will need to feature in your video at least one green screen effect. I'll say that again. At least one green screen effect needs to be put into your video. We made a demo reel here in the past couple of days working with the green screen effect. That shouldn't be all that difficult to do. Obviously, there's a time requirement here, and I'm going to zoom in on this because this is kind of important. Your videos should be no shorter or longer than 1.5 minutes. That means not 1 minute and 29 seconds or 1 minute and 27 seconds, and not 1 minute and 31 seconds or 1 minute and 35 seconds. 1 minute, 30 seconds. 90 full seconds. No more, no less. It might not seem like a lot of time, but trust me, it goes by really quickly, or it can drag on for a long time if you're not prepared. So be aware of that. Now, I made a point to talking to you guys about the term properly. What does properly mean? How do you properly deliver your opinion? All right. I made some talking points here that I'd like you guys to think about. Imagine that this video that you guys are shooting is going to be the very first scene of a weekly assignment. Okay, here it is for the whole student population to see. And we're shooting this video about whether or not the students in Melvindale High School feel comfortable and safe inside their school. What's the title of this segment? What does the viewer expect to see when you play start? How's the topic introduced? Is it introduced, or do you just jump right into the interview? What types of questions are you asking the people that you're interviewing? Are they easy questions, softball questions that anybody can knock out of the park, or are they a little bit more thought-provoking and cause the person to kind of really give you a good answer? And also, what's the original point that you want to make? Now, keep in mind, this is an editorial, so your end goal here is to make sure that you do give your opinion, whether or not you feel comfortable or you don't feel comfortable. But there's specific ways to do this and in a respectful manner. What I don't want you guys to think is that you guys are getting a green light to have the camera in front of you and start saying, I don't feel comfortable because the school doesn't do this and the school doesn't do that. Remember, we talked about this in class. Somebody asked, why did we spend so much money on a TV screen? Well, what are we going to do with the money that we spent on the TV screen? Buy a metal detector? And what's one metal detector going to do? Make it safer or create more of an issue with people not being able to get into the school? Okay? There is a good way to deliver your opinion without coming off accusatory or pointing the finger at someone saying that they're wrong. And the best way to do that, like I said down here, is to shed light on the other side of the story while bringing out your opinion a little bit more. So like I said, the idea of a TV or money being spent on a TV is a valid point. But let's think about it. Is the money that we spend on a TV necessarily going to equal the cost of having a police officer actively in our school? Is it going to pay for more than one metal detector? And even if it did pay for one metal detector, will that allow students to enter or exit the school any faster or any easier than it is right now? These are areas that you guys need to be thinking about when you're shooting this video and you're producing this video as a whole. Keep in mind here, though, while this is sort of a sensitive topic, a very serious topic, I'm going to zoom in here and just kind of tell you, guys, that your overall personality should be shown through. Keep this lighthearted. Keep this fun, but also serious. You don't need to be a robot, all right? Nobody's going to watch a video where you sound, monotone like this and you just point out certain areas that need to be viewed like this. give yourself a little bit of practice. Give yourself a little bit of hand motion or a little inflection on your voice to show that you're actually interested in getting a good grade on this project and not something that you just got thrown to you and you have to hurry up and do for some points. Now, there is another additional link that is below this PowerPoint presentation. And this link right here, as it pops up on the screen, is a link for you guys as group members to go in and sort of claim your spot. You'll notice I have groups 1 through 8 on one sheet of paper, and then on the back sheet of paper I've got groups 10 through 13. We may use all those groups, we may not. We may have to add a couple. It really just depends on how many people are in the class. But this is exactly where you guys are going to go fill in your responsibilities. So for example, if I'm in a group with 2 other teachers and I want to be the person who's going to be the cameraman, then I just go down there in group 1, type in my name. If I'm in a group with Mr. Geiger and he wants to do some of the production stuff because he's really good with Geiger, I don't know, Geiger, no R, Geiger. I hope that's how you spell his name. I think there's an E. Boom. That's probably good. If Mr. Geiger is going to be my producer, then he'll go there. And, who's more personable in this school? Who's got a lot of personality? I think Mr. Naylor would be a great on-air person to kind of drive home the point of what our group wants to say. Well, there I've got it in my list. I've got my 3 people in there, and then I don't have to worry about anything else. I can start making my video. I'm going to delete these names before you guys have access to it because I don't think Mr. Geiger or Mr. Naylor know that we're going to be shooting a video. I should probably go tell them. Now, obviously, I'm not here today, but I'm also not going to be here tomorrow, which means you guys won't have access to signing out cameras, but you will be able to use the cameras during the class period. So let me say that again. You won't have access to signing out anything, but you will have access to the cameras in class during your assigned hour. So 3rd hour, you have the ability to use the cameras. 6th hour, the same way. I am putting the responsibility on each one of you guys to make sure whatever devices are used, they're properly returned back and either plugged in or recharged for the next class or for you returning the next day. Not being here for 2 days puts a lot of responsibility on you guys because I won't be able to be here to hand over the cameras or unplug the iPads or anything like that. And to be fair, I think of all of you guys as adults, and I think you guys can handle this responsibility. But just understand, without me being here, this is a huge test. If you guys can't handle this, then we might have to rethink the direction that this class goes in. Instead of making weekly videos, maybe we start making some more of these videos where they cover certain topics and you don't necessarily have the freedom to do your own thing because it's kind of hard for you guys to follow through on your end. I don't think it's going to happen. Matter of fact, I know 2nd hour handled this really well and we got everything back, charged up, ready to go. I'm hoping that each one of you guys 3rd and 6th hours can take care of all of these devices. It's been really awesome to be able to teach you from this stuff, and I want to continue to be able to trust you guys when I'm not in the classroom. All right? Now, my goal for Thursday is to shoot another video kind of checking in on you guys, but I won't be here again until Friday, so I look forward to seeing this form here on the screen filled out. I look forward to you guys getting yourselves into groups responsibly with people that you know you can trust. And I look forward to any questions that you have or any footage that within the next couple of days you guys can go out and shoot, at least with the direction that you're going in. All right? When I return Friday, if you guys got some questions for me, you want to bounce ideas off my head, that's great. With a half day, that's probably the best time to do it. So I'll sign off here and tell you guys that I'll see you later, and good luck.